Okay, let's get started with this very important session. Now, this session is called as PI spoilers, right? Now, what do you mean by PI spoilers exactly? PI spoilers, these are the questions, guys, which predominantly are non-conventional, These sessions are non-conventional, and at the same time, you can say that these are non-traditional type of, questions, wherein people actually get confused कि इसका भी मुझे आंसर क्या करना है. So I'll quickly tell you what sort of questions that you can expect. Tell me something about yourself which is not mentioned on your resume. This is something, if they ask you first question, then this can actually create problem for you. Why MBA is different and why MBA now is a different thing. Why not masters in the field as undergraduation, right? यहाँ पे people talk about different career opportunities, and a lot of times people go wrong and then they feel that, oh shit, why would I say this thing? अभी तो ये मेरे why MBA के साथ contradict कर गया. यहाँ पे वो problem होती है. Is MBA required to be successful? Is it really necessary to have an MBA under the belt, to move ahead? Vision, mission of your previous company and how you were a perfect fit into it. How to explain an MBA to a 5-year-old kid. Qualities required for MBA: 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses. Native place, state, politics, blah blah blah. Describe any one incident wherein you went out of your set conventions to do something. Explain the rationale behind it. इसके साथ और एक question आएगा. Explain a scenario wherein you went unethical or you kind of resorted to unethical practices, but it was indeed necessary. Can you explain that sort of scenario? These are the questions which can definitely spoil your personal interview. Then comes a little bit more harsh sort of questions. Why should we select you over others? I think we have done this, but I'm going to give you a different perspective out here. How do you describe success? How successful have you been? This is going to be a contradiction to the MBA wala cheese. What's your biggest failure and learnings from it? And then there is one question which I'll tell you that the panel might ask you. One thing that you think, me as a panel, I don't know about the institute, but you know it. So you might get a call from IMCO Code, XLRI, SPJ, and SIBM, and they might just ask you as a panel, faculties, like, this is my favorite question. I ask this question to kids in the interviews. I mean, deliberately ask them to check how well they're sort of aware about the base school, and ask them, tell me something that you believe मुझे नहीं पता होगा इस college के बारे में, पर आपको पता होगा. And there is a catch over here. I'll tell you how do you answer these things. Why particular language? Because I see these days people are doing a lot of languages: German, French, Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, and all this stuff, right? And the questions based on budget, not in a direct way, but in a reverse way. वो reverse में क्या होगा मैं आपको explain करूँगा. And ऐसे बहुत सारे questions होंगे जो होते हैं trap question. Now, trap question एक फंडा है जहाँ पे अगर आपका पैनलिस्ट बहुत ज्यादा स्मार्ट है और अगर उनको लगता है कि आप बहुत अच्छे परफॉर्म कर रहे हो, then there is a great possibility and a chance that you might get questions which are trap question. These are the trap questions I have been asking to almost everybody from the Blackie group. जिनको ABC के कॉल्स आए हैं, जिनका मैंने अभी मॉक PI लिया है, उनको मैंने ये ट्रैप क्वेश्चंस पूछे हैं, and they had really tough time answering them. So I will also be telling you the trap questions. What do we have eventually? Now let's get started with this. Tell me about yourself that is not mentioned on your resume. Here I again tell you that you start with a story, but the story should get connected with your strong point. That story should get connected with your resume, right? Something not exact resume, but then something to do with your technical skill, right? You might have done Six Sigma, you might have done equity analysis certification, you might have done certified financial analyst program with me, you might have understand something, or you might have learned a new skill which you are currently working on. You might wanna start something which is really funny. If they ask you something there, tell me something about yourself which is not mentioned on the resume, then you might say that, sir, I'm a good part-time cook, I am a part-time comedian, I'm a part-time XYZ person, right? Because these are the extracurricular activities, but we have taken them on a little bit higher level. ये हम बताना comfortable नहीं सोचते हैं, but अगर ये बात अगर आती है तो एक तो strength से चालू करो, अपनी technical skills से चालू करो, या फिर कुछ abstract level पे चालू करो जो आपको help करेगा. Now, my question to all of you is, if I may ask you, why MBA now? What should be your answer? I would love to see some replies here. How do you answer this? The best thing to answer this is, See, why MBA now? When you talk about this, right? The first thing that you need to tell them is that you need to create an urgency that why I want to do an MBA right now, right? I'll start from a very normal level. My initial answers are certain answers wherein you might not agree with me, but it's a reality of the market, right? If it's a girl, right, you can definitely say that I look forward for it because this is the right time for me, because I definitely want to do my MBA right now and have a 2 or 3 years of work ex, because that's where like 3-4 years down the line my family is definitely planning for my marriage and all that. So definitely for me, I have that sort of a thing, right? Number 2, a guy can also say that okay, I have these commitments wherein I really need to look forward for family and all that stuff. So that's the reason MBA now. I don't think I will be able to do it little bit later. This is like normal answer, acceptable है, लोग जानते हैं कि ये सब चीजें होती है लाइफ में, but not that kind of answer which will create a great impact. Now you can see MBA now, because see that this is something you need to start with your failures. That sir, you need to tell them your weaknesses, and those weaknesses should be technical weaknesses. You should not be telling them the weaknesses which are coming from your personality. कि मैं laconic हूँ, मैं ये हूँ, मैं वो हूँ, मैं ऐसा, मैं वैसा, बिल्कुल भी नहीं, right? ये तुमको उनको नहीं बताना है. तुमको चीजें बतानी है टेक्निकल. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, जब भी वीकनेस के बारे में बात होती है, 3 वीकनेस बोलो या 4 बोलो या 5 बोलो. Why people are not able to put down weaknesses when they talk about weaknesses and tell me more than 3 weaknesses? If I tell somebody tell me 5 weaknesses, people will have no answer. But अगर मैं बोलूंगा कि मुझे 5 वीकनेस बताओ, तो सब लोगों के पास 5 स्ट्रेंथ के बारे में आंसर होगा. 2 के बाद वीकनेस बताना थोड़ा सा टफ हो जाता है, बिकॉज हम वीकनेस के बारे में जब बात करते हैं हमें लगता है कि खाली पर्सनल चीजों के ही वीकनेसेस होते हैं. वीकनेसेस टेक्निकल भी हो सकते हैं. यू कैन टेल देम I have been working in the company from last 2 years or from last 1 year, and I think I lack a lot on the technical front, which is like decision making, having the holistic approach towards the sort of company decision, looking at the things out of the box, looking at the things from a different perspective, understanding people. मैंने जितना भी बोला था why MBA का, उसको यहाँ पे आप नेगेट करना चालू करो अगर एक क्वेश्चन आया तो, बिकॉज वाई MBA नाउ एंड वाई MBA दोनों क्वेश्चन साथ में आना चांसेस बड़े कम होते हैं. तो वो जो चीजें बोली यहाँ पे नेगेट करके बता दो, वो बंदा आपको वीकनेस नहीं पूछेगा बाद में. That's where you can say that I cannot really carry myself a little bit more in the corporate world with these sort of weaknesses, and that is the reason I believe that right now is a good time for me to invest in my education, which is MBA. So that might be the answer for the work experience for a student. Number 3, a work student can say that I have been working in the domain of sales and marketing. I have been working in the domain of banking. I have been working with the NBFC. I have been working with the KPO. I have been working with the coding profile sort of thing. But now I believe that it's sort of a saturation for me, and I really want to take one level jump, or I want to go one ladder up in the corporate world, and that is the reason now is the time for me to have a value addition, to have a switch in my career. Understand, never shy away from saying that I want to have a switch in my career. These are the practical things. As a panel, I would appreciate कि सामने वाला बच्चा मुझे बोल रहा है कि मुझे switch मारना है. तुम कितना भी कुछ ज्ञान यहाँ पे आके बोलो, कितना भी कुछ चीजें बोलो, as a panel मुझे पता है तुझे MBA क्यों करना है. एक तो मनी, बट वो बोलना अच्छा नहीं होता है. कुछ बच्चे बोल भी देते हैं, बट वो सुनने में थोड़ा बेकार लगता है. So we kind of mark them down. But switch करना है, ये बहुत सही बात है. See, let's be cool about it. Let's accept this thing. It's a logical thing that कि सर मुझे switch करना है. I would appreciate your loyalty and honesty in the answer rather than घुमाओ find the answer. And as a panel, I'm so bloody badass कि मैं तुमसे वो बुलवा के रहूंगा कि बेटा तू बोल, तेरे को switch चाहिए. मुझे पता है तू बोर हो गया कोडिंग करके. मुझे पता है तू सेल्स करके बोर हो गया. तुझे सेल्स का एक्सपीरियंस भी प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट में चलना है, तुझे मार्केटिंग में चलना है. I know it. So that can be the answer. For freshers, you can say that, sir, this is the brilliant or this is the fabulous time in my life because I want to continue the momentum of learning. I don't want to break it up. I've just done my BBA, I've done my engineering. I'm in a full zone and a full mood of, extending my education or extending my, strength, which is like, zeal towards learning and all that. Inquisitiveness. I want to go ahead and, learn. And that is the reason, abhi mujhe lagta hai that doing MBA right now is a great time for me, right? You can talk about your failures, right? Okay, sir, I have not been able to perform really well. I think I lack certain things, and MBA is going to be a perfect fit. MBA is going to be that perfect fit. MBA is something that can kind of, overcome that vacuum, and my career will get lifted. My career will get lifted is a keyword. This is where you tell them that, what, this is the reason why I want to do MBA right now. Right? You can have your own problems also. You can say that, sir, my father is about to get retired in the next 2 years and I want to be a strong financial pillar for my family, and that is the reason doing an MBA right now is quintessential for me. सामने वाला बोल नहीं सकता कि तुम्हारा फादर को रिटायरमेंट लेट करने का बोलो, वो भी आंसर बाय कर लेगा. You getting my point? And that is the reason you can say that these are my timelines. एक और एक आंसर आप अच्छे से दे सकते हो. Sir, the way I look forward for myself, the way I have designed my goals, my short-term goals include MBA right now, and my long-term goals are different. It's a hook. मैंने बोला कि long-term goal बोलो, नहीं. It's a hook. Let him ask you what's your long-term goal. हमने ये करा है goal वाले सेशन में. You can tell them कि rather than telling them it's my own bloody personal choice, looks a little rude. आपको उनको बताना है कि सर जिस तरीके से मैंने अपना पूरा प्लान डिजाइन करा है, MBA fits right now. The next question will be, what's your plan? Sir, my short-term goals are tuck, 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 tuck. My long-term goals are going to be these things. And that is the reason I'm going to do MBA right now.